Hello everyone and welcome back to 4pixels. Cuckoo is here with Cody, Lamoleon, and KeaDane, and we are continuing Ace Attorney.
And as the as the judge says,
How did you know?
I think it's because I saw a judge, but then it makes it with court. So
Judge Jordy is now in. The cases are real. The trials are real.
The rulings are final. Judge Jourt.
What a train wreck, right from the beginning.
Judge George and George.
That's just gonna be his name for me forever now.
One ordinary name to have in this kind of game. Miles Edgeworth, Phoenix Wright, and George. Mr. Von Karma, call your witness.
Yes. Will Miss Lotterhart takes a stand?
No.
Come on, please. Lotterhart, you are a research student at a university?
That I am.
Good. Begin by telling us what you saw the night of the incident. And don't add anything trivial or subjective. Understand?
Y'all need to learn some manners.
No. Understand!
Yeah, I understand.
Very well. Your testimony, please.
It was Christmas Eve, just after midnight, I reckon. I was in my car. I heard this bang come up from the lake. When I looked out the window, I saw two gents in a boat. Then there was another bang. There wasn't nary a thing on the lake out but that boat. Ooh.
Enough.
Huh?
Judge. She happened to take a photo of the incident. This is that photo. Accept it as evidence.
Well, this is a surprise. This looks like the very moment of the murder. Order! I will remove you from the court if I do not have order immediately.
Whatever, George.
Who spoke?
As the witness testified, she looked at the lake when she heard the shot. There were no other boats on that lake. So the man in the boat with the victim must have been the one who shot him. Yes, it was the defendant, Miles Edgeworth.
Order. I will have order.
Well, Judge?
The evidence is decisive. I have very little doubt about this case. Very well. This court finds the defendant.
Objection! Wait! Your Honor! I haven't cross-examined the witness yet!
A cross-examination? We have photographic proof. What question can there possibly be?
How stupid you really are!
This photo is worth 1,000 words, and they all read guilty. You lose. Or do you claim to have found a contradiction in her testimony? Very well. If you have to, you may cross-examine the witness. You will only flounder and ask meaningless questions. You will fail to find anything. And then, I will have you held in contempt of court.
Nick? Contempt?
Contempt of court, you know?
I guess I understand. Well, what are you going to do? Do you really think there was a contradiction with the facts in her testimony?
I think I noticed one little thing.
Wow, I'm impressed, Nick. I didn't notice anything. Right, let's take him on.
Yeah. I got a bad feeling about this. I understand. I will cross-examine the witness.
Very well.
I pray for your sake this isn't a waste of time. I'm calling it now. I bet Maya betrays us after we were dicks to her.
It was Christmas Eve, just after midnight, I reckon.
Hold it! Just after midnight, you say? In other words, it was no longer Christmas Eve, but Christmas Day.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, yes.
Objection! I know you want to find contradictions, but really...
I hope your next contradiction is a little more relevant to the trial. Witness, continue your testimony.
I was in my car.
Hold it!
No, you weren't.
Why were you camping there anyway?
I'm a research student at my university. I was taking pictures to use in my research.
What research? This all sounds suspicious. Miss Hart, could you be more specific about your research?
Objection! What does the witness's motive in camping by the lake have to do with this case? The answer is nothing. I object to this line of questioning. Objection sustained.
But wait now, I'm the one who says that.
Well, then say it already.
Nobody talks to George like this. Objection sustained.
Apparently someone does talk to George like that.
Thanks for nothing, Your Honor.
I heard this bang come up from the lake.
Hold it! So, you weren't looking at the lake at that time?
Nope. I looked after I heard that noise.
Objection! She said that already. I asked you to find contradictions. not leisurely chat with the witness.
Urgh.
When I looked out the window, I saw two gents in a boat.
Hold it! Could you clearly see the two men?
Just look at the picture. Clear enough for you?
Uh-oh. Wait a second. I wasn't asking you about the photo. I was asking if you saw the two men.
Yeah, well, of course.
Objection! The witness has testified that she saw them. There's also a photo. You'd best look elsewhere for your precious contradictions.
He jumped in quick. He's hiding something.
And then there was another bang.
Hold it! Were you watching the very moment the shot rang out?
Well, yeah, sure.
Objection! You're asking meaningless questions. Meaningless! Contradictions, Mr. Wright. Not meaningless babble.
Von Karma, I think I hate you. He's trying to keep me from talking to the witness. To what end?
There wasn't nary a thing on the lake but that boat.
Hold it! Are you sure about that?
Yeah, as sure as a country gal can be.
That sounds pretty sure. But we're gonna check anyway. How come you're so sure?
Well, heck, I scanned the whole lake.
Scanned the whole lake? It almost sounds like she was more interested in the lake than the boat. Miss Hart, you...
Objection! Mr. Wright. The witness has answered the question in full. No need for further questions. Objection sustained.
But that's what I'm...
Sustained!
Yes, of course.
Oh, great.
Enough! I think we've heard all we need to hear, Mr. Wright. It seems you are unable to find a contradiction in the testimony worth noting.
But, Your Honor!
You keep your promise.
Mr. Wright, I'm afraid that I will have to penalize any further outbursts by holding you in contempt of court.
And if that happens, you will have to leave the courtroom immediately. Understood?
Uh-huh.
Nick? Lana's testimony is fishy, Nick. Real fishy.
I know what you mean. But... if I can't say anything, what can I do?
I believe we've covered the evidence sufficiently to make a decision.
Then pass your judgment.
Very well. Mr. Miles Edgeworth, please take the stand.
Hold it!
Who was that?
It was me.
Maya!
Is something wrong? Do you need to use the facilities?
No, I do not. Lot of heart. Your testimony stinks. It's unclear whether you were actually looking at the lake. It's highly doubtful that you actually saw Mr. Edgeworth. Tell us the truth. This is a matter of life or death. Lotta! Did you really clearly see Mr. Edgeworth that night? Did you see him fire that pistol?
You will stand down. The court does not acknowledge the defense's outburst.
Answer me, Lotta! What's the big idea, treating me like some kind of criminal? I saw him, I swear it. I saw Edgeworth.
Objection! Enough! Judge declares the defense in contempt of court.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry, but you were warned. Guard, escort Mr. Wright out of a courtroom. He is in contempt of court and must leave.
No! No! Son of a bitch!
Wait! I was the one who made the outburst, Your Honor. Nick is innocent.
Ha! What's the difference? All that remains is for the guilty verdict to be declared. Isn't that right, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Wrong. Wrong!
What?
Did you hear what Miss Hart just said? She said she clearly saw Mr. Edgeworth. That was not in the testimony! That changes her testimony, and I have a right to cross-examine her again!
Order. Lots of orders.
You're in contempt of court! It's too late for vile claims! Judge, sustain my objection!
No. I'm sorry, Mr. Von Karma, but I cannot.
What?
Ms. Lotta Hart has made a new testimony. No longer will you rule over George. The defense does have a right to cross-examine her again.
But he is in contempt of court!
No, I am. If you're going to arrest someone, arrest me.
That's very tempting.
Not bad. Very well. Maya Fey, you will leave the courtroom immediately.
Nick, I did what I could. You have to do the rest. Good luck.
Maya...
Can't call me useless anymore, you fuck.
Hey, I never actually said it.
Ah, I care not for this melodrama. Listen well, Mr. Wright. I do not tolerate badgering of my witnesses.
I'm running out of time. I'd better find a contradiction in here, or else.
Mr. Wright, begin your cross-examination.
And we will end things right here. Thank you guys for joining us, and see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Woo!
Suddenly, he clams up. Although his actions... The restless shift in his shoulders, his mouth pressing close in a tight line, and how he starts off again in a quiet note. It all gives away his real thoughts, long before 2 words have even made it out of his mouth.
I'm sure you already know about this. Maybe this is you trying to make amends, or whatever. I don't know. You're making your own decisions here. But if something happens to you, it'll be just that. There'll just be another dead body out there. Please, don't do something like this.
Don't worry. I'm not stupid enough to get myself killed.
Are you fucking
Doubt. Doubt.
Press X to fucking doubt.